We're waiting for never mind. We're not waiting anymore. Let's see if I can get this.
Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from an inmate at Virginia Department of Corrections, Buckingham Correctional. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press 1. To prevent calls from this facility, press 9. Hello. This is a prepaid debit call. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, Zach.
All right.
How are
You
you?
on live?
Yep.
Got it set?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Tell me when you want me to start.
Oh, we started. We're starting.
Okay,
We
all right.
started.
All right. Welcome to another edition. Welcome to another edition of Second Chance Quest annual Facebook takeover.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Kevin Brown. I'm the president and co-founder of Second Chance Quest. Second Chance Quest is a non-profit organization founded in 2015 by myself and several prisoners, thanks to the aid and support of our family members. Second Chance Quest mission is to bring about the reduction of the recidivism rate nationally. We believe this can be done through educating the public to the plights of the newly released prisoners in the hope that the public will lend their hand in making the ex-prisoners transition back into society less difficult. Second Chance Quest further aims to support prisoners, their families, before, during, and after incarceration. Second Chance Quest further advocates alternative sentences for non-violent prisoners in the form of community service and for those who qualified military service in order to expound their criminal records. Currently, the United States has housed over 2 million prisoners with an annual budget of over $80 billion to taxpayers. We remain the largest penal colony on the planet. Why? It's a question we need to ask ourselves. Why with our, outstanding democracy and everything that we, would like to expound to the world, do we also, imprison so many of our citizens? So this is a question for us, the citizenry. Change can start with each and every one of us demand change. A simple phone call to your senator or congressman is a step in the right direction. And I dare say, if he gets or she gets enough calls, they will deliver.
Yeah.
I would like to thank you all for tuning in. And we have a long list of different programs lined up for this week-long annual event. And these events we've started several years ago, and it has been successful. And we thank you for tuning in, and we hope you continue to tune in and let your support the Second Chance Quest. We seek your donations and your volunteer work, as we build this organization so we can bring about these much needed demands, the needed changes that we seek to bring about in the penal system that we currently have in this country. For far too long, poor people have been suffering the brunt of incarceration. It is not because, poor people are more prone to commit crimes than anybody else. It's just that, in many instances, they can't afford, the proper legal assistance, as opposed to certain other people that commit, worse offense. We find that, many non-violent offenders, that shouldn't be in prison are incarcerated for decades,
Yeah.
for simple crimes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and the way the system works, and it's well understood that if you take away the mom or dad away from their child for decades, you elevate the chances or the risk of that child, you know, having to be raised by the streets and in turn wind up in these penal systems
Right.
themselves.
Right.
So it's not uncommon to find in these facilities, the facility I'm at, for instance, I know of dads and sons that's here.
Mm-hmm.
Dad's been here 20, 30 years. Some of the sons, they left these sons, when they was little kids, children.
Mm-hmm.
And now these sons are here and they have sons on the street. And they're here doing, time as well, extended time. And many of these men, those times, not to say we're advocating that people, give people, a pass on violating, laws of society. That's not what we're saying.
Right.
But we're saying there has to be alternatives to many of these crimes, these sentencing laws, as opposed to putting a person in prison for 10, 20, 30 years.
Right.
When they did not take a life.
Especially.
They did not kill anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these men, they're sentenced into what they call three-strike laws.
Right.
And some of them was teenagers as well in these systems and grew up in these systems. And it's just inhumane for society to be so cruel to the teenagers, children, and women, and the mentally ill. Mentally ill. Some of these men, without a doubt, deserve a second chance in life.
Right.
Without a doubt, deserve to be in other programs other than the prison system. Society, we advocate here at Second Chance Quest that we get involved. The public must get involved and turn the tide of incarceration. We have many able-bodied young men in these prisons that they should be in the service. They should be in the military. They should be in the military, serving their country, and we have to show them a different way. We have to show them a different way other than what is being taught to them. And we're talking about millions of young men. This is not a small problem by far. And we find that the politicians and the powerful that enrich themselves from these people, from our misery, they have no desire for change. They have no desire for change because their pockets are constantly getting fatter and fatter. Remember at the outset, I stated that the annual budget, for the prison system in the United States is an annual budget of $80 billion.
$80 billion.
80 billion with a B.
80 billion.
You think some of that money is not funneling their ways in different groups and organizations run by some of these powerful men?
Sounds like
what incentive do they have to change that? Every year, $80 billion is divided amongst the prison systems.
It's a lot of
and
money.
these costs goes to taxpayers. It's our money. Our monies that can be used to, in schools, drug prevention, mental health programs, better books, better educations in the inner cities, turn these kids away from prison. But it's in the best interest of certain people, certain powerful people, for things to stay the way it is. For this 2 million prisoners to continue to grow. Nowhere else on the planet is this being done. No other country. Chinese aren't doing it to theirs. The Russians aren't doing it to their people. Nobody but the Americans. The Mexicans aren't doing it. South Americans, nobody. Only the Americans. Why? Talking about big money, big industry. So now we have become a system of warehousing prisoners, male and female, and destroying families.
I think it's
It was
important to
always
say
like that.
we're
But that's what it
housing
is today.
people. Sorry to jump in
We're
there.
housing people.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you know, yeah, it's people first and
We're housing
foremost.
people, 2 million prisoners. And that's not counting those that's in society that is stuck on parole, probation, and so forth. So
Institutionalized.
you're looking at maybe another 10 million people that's stuck in the justice system.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
So this is big money. This is big industry, and we have to change that. We have to bring about a change to that because it's ruining life.
and
Destroying
families.
families.
Yeah, yeah,
You
it's
know?
true.
So please get involved. Do join us today. Join Second Chance Quest. Do get involved with us. If not with us, get involved with other organizations that, you know, is trying their uttermost to bring about this change. This change we must bring about. You know, we must bring about this change because the lives of these men and women do matter. And as I said, we're not, you know, overlooking, you know, people, you know, say you commit a crime like, you know, you shouldn't be punished. That's not what we're saying. Stop being so heavy-handed on non-violent prisoners in prison with less to offense. These things are not happening in other countries.
Right.
They're not doing that to their people. So we need to stop doing it and you know, come up with alternative programs for these young men and women as opposed to throwing them away, you know, into these facilities. All right, they say throwing them to the wolves. When they come home, they're worse. Many of these men and women, they're coming home to you. They're the ones in the mall with you.
Seriously, your
They're
neighbors.
driving past you every day. And society's made them worse. We have to change this. It's in your best interest and in mine.
Dad, there you go. You had cut out for a minute, Dad. You said it was in our best interest to what?
It's in all our best interests to get involved and do everything we can to bring about this change and to solve this injustice that is being perpetrated on the American people.
Absolutely.
Because though you throw some of these men away in prison for 20, 30 years, they're coming home after 30 years.
Yeah.
They're the ones you walking past in the mall. You're driving past them every day.
Yeah.
Are you safe? Are you safer? You just turned this man into a bitter being, and his children are just coming in the system. This never-ending cycle. We have to do better.
Yeah.
It's the only country on the planet where this is happening, on the scale that is happening.
Well, how do we do better though, Dad? How do we as a society, like, right? Like what does that look like as you know, folks out here, how do we get involved and help make it look better and do better?
We have to reach out to our congressmen and our senators and petition these guys. Okay, one thing about these guys, they don't want to leave office.
They like
They work for us.
Mm-hmm.
And what keeps them in office is the vote. And they are very, very much afraid of the vote.
Mm-hmm.
All right? They're very much afraid of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And not to beat up on the gays, but I'll use them for example in terms of politics.
Oh, I got you.
You know, the gay community was was treated terribly by everybody in America.
Right.
At one point.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they couldn't get anything done in America. They were stepped on. They would stay deep in the closet.
Right.
All right?
Right.
They figured a way out. And the way they figured out of this
Numbers.
and into the mainstream is through the ballot box.
Vote.
Today, gays are all over America. Everybody seems to love the gays now. You think they love them because they changed their lifestyle?
Mm-hmm.
Or did it change with them? They love them because they figured out the power of the ballot box. Look at Obama when he wanted to run for re-election. He didn't see eye to eye with the gays. But you understand the only way he could have been reelected is to give the gays what they desired, which was, to legalize marriage for gays.
Mm-hmm.
So they figured out that they can do anything, get any kind of power to the ballot box.
Yep.
The politicians, they will do what they're supposed to do to keep their job. And that's just an example I'm just throwing out here. Nobody didn't offend anybody with that. But
Right.
facts are facts. Facts are facts.
Right.
Facts are facts.
Yep.
That's why they have their rights today, because they went out and vote. And the politicians fear their vote.
Yep.
And many of these men are in office, in the old office, because of the gay votes.
So
in
then,
order for us to bring about any kind of change in America, we have to vote. We got to get involved and call these people and let them know, listen, if you don't do your job, we gonna hire somebody else.
Yeah.
You work for us. We don't work for you.
Yeah. It's true.
So we have to make some phone calls. We have to call our senators or congressmen and demand that they bring about, criminal justice reform and stop housing so many young men and women in prison. Stop warehousing men and women. They know exactly what you mean. They know what you're talking about.
Right.
They have the statistic. They know what's going on.
Yeah.
But many of the lobbyists are paying them money to leave things the way it is.
And it's
as
like
they say. So some of them are reluctant to rock the boat, as they say, because the money's coming in. But we're suffering.
Exactly.
We're paying the cost.
Exactly. It's at the expense of real lives, real broken families, real broken communities, like real damage. So because someone is afraid to rock the boat.
Yes.
And they're only going to continue to rock it if they know. Yeah, and if they believe, right, if they see there's no fuss, there's no muss, we can get away with this, then why stop?
Absolutely. And these people are funneling monies in these men's political campaigns.
Yeah.
Look at the NRA, for instance.
Exactly.
Look at what's going on with the guns in America.
Right.
Little kids getting gunned down in school. You would think that, automatic change would have came about already.
Like a no-brainer, right.
But it's not. Why? Because the lobbyists, the money. Mm-hmm. Big money.
Yeah.
So the public has to get involved with these men and be willing to get them out of office and put other people in office and encourage your children to go to school and get in the arena.
That part.
Become senators. Become congressmen.
That part.
You bring about the change the future, become presidents, and change this country.
Yes. Yeah.
We the people. We got to get involved. You can't stay on the sideline and sit. It don't involve you. Yeah, it involves you.
It does.
Some people don't want you to get involved. They want you to stay on the sideline. Don't say nothing. Just suffer quietly. While your children aren't even safe in school.
Yeah.
And the lobbyists continue to pump money into these politicians in D.C. to keep the gun laws that they have, not to change anything.
Yeah. Same with tobacco. It's killing people, causing cancer, people lungs.
Yes.
But nope, it's too much money tied up in there. Why would they not let that continue to go on?
Yes. So the only answer we have to it as the public is to vote. We have to make phone calls and vote. You call these congressmen and let them know, listen, I voted for you the last time. What the heck are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing in there?
Yep.
Yep. You want my vote again? Yeah, that's what it takes. So the people have to get involved and keep some pressure on these politicians to bring about justice reform and, reduce the prison population. In your state and in your country, in this country, and because we cannot continue along this line. It's very destructive and it's harmful to our children.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Men and women within these facilities, they had so many potential, in life, and it's been torn apart, because they get caught up in their neighborhoods. you know, poor schooling, you know, and so forth.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for giving me the time. And do tune in and, you know, give some your ear to the rest of the programs we have lined up for this week. Thank you very much. And please support, and donate. You know, please, you know, send us something to keep the struggle going.
Yeah.
We need your funding and your volunteer service. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
You too, Dad. Bye.
All right. I'll call you. We cut off? You cut me off?
Oh no, I cut you off though. Bye, guys.
All
All right, cut you
well, we're
off.
going to cut off in a minute. All right, everything good. All right, great. I'll call you.
Thank you for using GTL.
Oh what?
I didn't have this problem that I had on last at all. Because I was watching TV in there. So I don't understand. The coaxial cord is this is not broken. It is low. Because they wouldn't come on live TV. Let's
Who he is on that? But he knows. Oh, I was live all this time. Yeah, he knows. How can I edit that? Please tell me they break. Good. I don't want it to break. Sometimes just replacing it is adding. So my thought was to just send. Why don't you go to YouTube?
Oh, I didn't go to YouTube. I'm just trying to see.
Yeah, that might be a hack.
I thought we might have to have a regular TV or something.
This is regular TV.
No, it wasn't on. It
Oh.
wasn't getting regular TV.
No TV do that no more. Your TV get regular TV?
Yeah. I get regular channels. With the cable though.
Oh, okay. I'm like
Yeah,
straight from the
I
TV.
can't get the
Yeah, that don't work no more. That went out.
Oh.
I want to say about 5, 10 years.
So which one did you sign in with your phone?
Yeah. Let me see. Wait a minute. Let me read this real quick. Sign in with your Google account. Sign in with your phone. Connect with the app. I want to just cast it. So probably let's skip first. Let me play with it. Let's play with it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Oh, don't play with it. Oh, I'm still live over here. Because why is this here?
Just white really look pretty in here.
The light you said?
The white.
Oh yeah. That white pull some stuff in nicely. Let go away.